Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for October 14th, 2016. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES right now. You see that price got down way into the 2108s. That was our pre-market target yesterday in the pre-market video. 2108 was a key level. It was a 100% expansion of the previous week's range. So that's the 100% expansion level, S100 on the PivotBoss pivots on a weekly time frame. We hit it big time tail, got back above the 2122s, midpoint right at 2120. And this appears to be an absorption signature. It's already begun, and we see the first big leg up. Typically speaking, we could see another pull back into this zone, a kind of shakeout leg, and perhaps attempt to rally back toward highs. We've already made it back toward 2140. That was in a key area of support before that went offered. So price really needs to get back above that area. Any resistance in 2140 could put a lid on today and force prices back a little bit. But right now, this rejection tail down here implies that we could see another round of strength back up. That's kind of what we were talking about before, is that this is our key range heading into the election. And we might get a little bit outside of it, but if we do, the odds favor a rotation back toward the center of the range as prices continue to chop around. So we'll keep an eye on this a little bit as we continue forward. 2120 is a key level there that bulls want to continue to keep bid. On an intraday time frame, let's drop down here. You'll see right here, so far today, this is the previous session's close. Prices below that zone have been defended, and then you see a squeeze right up to the R25. That is the previous. That's the extension, 25% extension of the previous week's range, previous session's range rather. So we're right at that level right now, and we're holding the previous session's high. So right now we know what levels are important. The previous close, the previous high, and R25 are important. If price can continue to remain above this 2132, there's a shot to see further expansion to the upside. Back toward 2146, which would be the previous week's close. So right now, holding above this general zone, 2132 here, implies a potential push toward this zone, especially if price can get above 2140. Failure to hold above 2132 rotates this thing back toward recent lows around 2122. All right, let's take a look at crude oil. Here's crude. Here's a daily time frame of crude. In the daily, you can kind of see, if I zoom in a little bit here, we've seen prices just kind of chop around this 2050 level. And I know there's a lot of levels in here right now, so it's harder to see. 50 half levels. Sorry, the 50 half levels where we've been chopping a whole lot around right now. And we have a clear range that is formed around that zone, the range we've been watching, right? So we have about 49s up to about 5160. That's the zone right now, and that's the trading range. Right now, the previous week's close has been defended very nicely. Yesterday, we were able to find a squeeze off of a failure to hold below the previous close. So once price got below the previous close yesterday in the trading room, we were watching it. We said if we squeeze back above it, we could get a move all the way back up the range. And we got a big time move up all the way back toward 50 half, held there, and now we're trading in the upper distribution of the range. So right now we have a tight little range. We're still chopping around 50 and 50 half, and that's important here. We could continue to develop in this range, but once we break out of this range, it could be significant for the next round of movement. Looking at the intraday time frame here, bringing this over. Right now, basically speaking, here's the squeeze from yesterday. So here's the previous week's close. We got below it. I mentioned if it pushes back above this area, look for the squeeze back toward these levels. We got it. Since then, price closed quietly, and then here's the previous close again, going bid off that level, trying to hold above this level here, which is the 25% expansion for the day. That failed, and now we're retesting it from below right at VWAP. So right now we kind of see, perhaps a trading range development here occurring. And fading new highs, fading new lows might be the appropriate approach. 50 half is still the main key level. So since we're above it, bulls want to keep this area bid. Failure to hold 50 half would rotate prices back toward 50 and perhaps bound toward 49.55. All right, let's take a look now at gold futures. Here's gold. Let's bring this up to a daily time frame. Here we are. Now, what I've been talking about before was 1252 being in a zone where the bulls are defending in an absorption signature. You had a rejection here. It wasn't super strong. You had the rejection, but there was also tailing the top end. So that's what, number one, what got us curious. Number two, over here, price coming down, it closes right on it, kind of holds, but there's no real lift, and prices are being defended at the previous close. So I mentioned before, while bulls are defending 1252s, it appears that that level is weakening. So be careful, be cautious, and watch out here, because if 1250 starts to give way, as it did a little bit this morning, but it didn't hold below there. If it finds acceptance below 1250, we could be rocking and rolling to the next downside targets, 1225 and 1208. So right now it's very important that 1252 to 1250 continue to hold. Bulls are still trying to keep that area bid, but they need to get paid above 1268. If prices can get above 1268, there's a great shot to get a bounce. So right now, key levels to watch for expansion, 1268 above, 1250 down. Here's the NQ. Now the NQ's had quite a pullback here, and this is what I mentioned before. Because of how this market's been holding at highs up here and holding above significant key levels, if it were to break down below some of these key levels, the implication would be a move back across the price distribution range. But we've been so bullish here lately that every pullback, whether it's a one-day pullback, two-day pullback, whether it's a big pullback, small pullback, it's all been bought. It doesn't matter. Look at this big Brexit move 2 days down, and it slingshots higher. Here's another 2-day move down, and boom. Now we've had a 3-day move down. This is 3 days. It wasn't that big of a 3-day move, but it was a 3-day move downward. And now you see a big rejection tail come in right off to 47.60, which is a key level. That was our target from yesterday in the trading room. I said there were 6 areas of confluence between 58 and 60. And so that's very, very important area, like a magnet almost. And price was attracted to that area like a magnet, and then boom, pushed right back up. So this is important right now. You see the midpoint right here of yesterday's range? That's right where the bulls came in and defended, and now we're squeezing back toward 48.20. So right now, we could build out a little bit more. Bulls want to keep 47.80 to 47.85 bid right in that zone for a shot at continuing this thing back toward 4,900 and above. Failure to hold above 47.80 may double dip and run these stops again. So right now, that's kind of the zone to watch. If we bring this thing into the intraday time frame, here it is. The key level again, here's the 47.80, right? There it is right here. You can kind of see that zone right there, 47.88, 47.80. Tried to hold here, boom, boom, bang. And then it pushed above, made it support, rallied. Then it made it support again this morning and rallied. So that's why I mentioned that 47.80 zone is going to be very important, 47.85 right there. So if price rotates into that area a couple of more times, I still think bulls will be active until it gives way. So that's the area to keep bid right now with a shot at seeing more strength. I think short term, right now, we're just playing around the previous session's high price with a bit of an advancing VWAP. So I would say pullbacks could be short-term buying opportunities for rotations higher. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this thing plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and happy Friday.